Okay, so today we're going to do benchmark 7. I can divide rational numbers with modeling. Remember, when we divide fractions, we keep, change, flip. So we keep, if we had two fractions, say 1/2 divided by 3/4, we would keep the first one the same, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. And then we would multiply like normal. So this fraction would be 4/6, and we can reduce that to 2/3. So I want you to try this example, pause it, and then check your work with the video once you've finished. So let's do 2/3 divided by 1/4. So pause the video and check your answer when you're done. So we're going to keep the first fraction the same, change to multiplication, flip the second fraction. And then we multiply the top numbers, multiply the bottom numbers, so we would get 8/3, and we can leave our answer like that. Our positive and negative rules are the same when we're dividing. So if we have a positive divided by a positive, that equals a positive. A negative divided by a negative equals a positive. A negative divided by a positive equals negative, or a positive divided by a negative equals negative. So again, remember, same sign, positive, different sign, negative. Now let's try one with some negatives. So let's take negative 2/5 divided by negative 1/3. We still keep change flip, so we keep the first one the same, change to multiplication, and we'll flip the second fraction. Then we're going to multiply the top numbers. So -2 times -3 is a +6. 5 times 1 is 5. Since we have two negatives, two negatives, our answer is positive. So positive 6/5 is our answer. If we have mixed numbers, we still need to change them to improper fractions, just like multiplying. So if we had 1/2 divided by 1 1/3, we need to change these to improper fractions. So we multiply the bottom number times the whole number, and we add the numerator. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, denominator stays the same. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, and then we can keep, change, flip. And we multiply our top numbers, multiply our bottom numbers, and we can leave our answer like that. So let's try mix number 1 with negatives. Let's do negative 1 1/3 divided by 2 1/2. So we have to change the improper fractions. So we do 3 times 1 plus 1 is 4/3. Divide by 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5/2. And this one's negative. Then we keep the first one the same, change the multiplication, flip the second. -4 times 2 is -8. 3 times 5 is 15. We can leave our answer like that. One's negative, one's positive. Our answer is negative. Now try one on your own. Solve the problem first, and then check your work. So make sure you pause the video before you move on. So let's try let's try -2 1/3 divided by -1 1/4. So remember to change to improper fractions. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 3, and that's negative. Divided by 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and that's also negative. And then we keep, change, flip. So 7 times 4 is 28, 3 times 5 is 15. They're two negative, so our answer is positive. Dividing decimals can be a little tricky. Let's say we have 3.1 divided by 1.1. Now we have to put the first number on the inside, and the second number goes on the outside of our division bar. Think of dividing decimals, we need to divide by whole numbers, so we're going to move the decimal one place on the outside, and then we have to do it one place on the inside. So we're going to do 11 divided by 31 now. Now we say 11 goes into 31 two whole times. 2 times 11 is 22. And then we subtract. And we get 9. Now we can add a decimal place, add a decimal place, add a 0, and bring it down. 11 goes into 90, 8 whole times. 8 times 11 is 88, and then we subtract. 90 minus 88 is 2. We can add another 0. 11 goes into 20, 1 time. 1 times 11 is 11, and we can stop there at 2 decimal places because this one would go on forever. So your answer would be 2.81. Let's try another dividing decimal one. Let's say we had 4.25 divided by 2.15. So remember, our first number goes on the inside, our second number goes on the outside. We have to move the decimal 2 times here, so we have to move it 2 times here. So now we're doing pretty much 425 divided by 215. 215 goes into 425 one whole time, so we put a 1. 1 times 215 is 215, and then we subtract. Now we have to add a decimal, add a 0, and bring our 0 down. 215 now goes into 2100 9 times, so we'll put a 9 up top. Don't forget your decimal here. 9 times 215 is 1935, and then we subtract. And then we bring another 0 down. Now, $2.15 goes into 165 7 times. So we'll put a 7 up here. 7 times 215 is 1,505. So we subtract again. And you can stop at 2 decimal places. We can stop there. It's a lot of work, but hopefully we remember our long division from grades before. Let's try one more dividing decimals on our own. So make sure you pause the video, try it, and then restart the video to check your work. So let's do 6.22 divided by 4.2. So remember, first number goes on the inside, second number goes on the outside. Move your decimal over once, we move our decimal over once. So now we have 42 on the outside, 62.2 on the inside, and our decimal will go right above the decimal place. So 42 goes into 62 one time. 1 times 42 is 42. And if we subtract, we get 20. Bring down a 2. 42 goes into 202. 4 times 42 is 168. So we subtract. That becomes a 9, 12, 4, 3. And then we bring down a 0. 42 goes into 348 times. And 8 times 42 is 336. So we subtract, and we get 4, and we can stop there at 1 decimal place. This is the end of the video for benchmark 7. Now begin the next activities assigned to you.